Magmar is the third and final Pokemon in our Generation 1 trio. Magmar is a definite counterpart to Electabuzz, and is on very close terms with Jynx. So let's see just how well Magmar does not only on the main leaderboard, but compared to Jynx and Electabuzz as well. And as always, we'll start with the 7 rules of the challenge. Rule number 1, the timer will start when walking away from Professor Elm after receiving the starter Pokemon. Rule number 2, only the challenge Pokemon may be used in battle. Rule number 3, no items in battle except balls to catch HM friends. Rule number 4, no evasion increasing TMs such as Double Team. Rule number 5, no intentional uses of glitches or exploits. Rule number 6, no rare candies until facing red at least once. And number 7, the timer may be paused for breaks in recording, but no inputs may be made when the timer is paused. I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Cyndaquil with Magby. That gives Magby and Magmar the toughest time with the rival battles. I nickname Magby Duck because it is going to evolve into the Bumhead Fire Duck. And now let's take a little look at Magby's stats. At level 5 we have 21 HP and 125 experience points. Our only move at the moment is Ember. Ember is good though because it's a stab special move, our attack is 14, our defense is 10, our special attack is 13, our special defense is 12, and our speed is 14. And with all that out of the way, let's get into the challenge. As always, I'll show you the very first encounter we have with our Magby, and in this instance it's a Rattata, and the level 3 female Rattata goes down in just 2 embers. Having Ember actually made levelling up on the first couple of routes a breeze. Normally Hoot Hoot's growl slows things down, but we were able to get to level 7 in a very good time, and we learned Leer, which is useless for us at the moment because Ember is a special attack. So now we've got a call from Professor Elm telling us that somebody has stolen the Pokemon, and we encounter him just outside of Cherry Grove City. I was all prepared to use Struggle in this battle, but I thought I'd give it one go, using Ember instead, even though Ember does minimal damage, and we got a very lucky critical hit to survive on 2 HP and beat the Totodile without having to resort to Struggle. So we can now go back to Professor Elm's laboratory, we can call the rival Triple Question Mark because that's what he said his name was, and we can make our way towards Violet City. Now the first destination in Violet City this time is going to be the Sprout Tower. We have Ember, and all these Bellsprout there are very flammable. So I'll take you to the tippy top of the tower where we have Sage Lee and his pair of Bellsprouts and a Hoot Hoot. You can see that the Bellsprouts go down in 1 shot each, and Hoot Hoot is looking like a 3 shot, which isn't bad seeing as we are technically a baby Pokemon at this point. We defeat all of his Pokemon, we get the HM for Flash, which is going to be useful for me because I have no sense of direction, and now it's time to take on Falconer. Flying type leader with 2 Pokemon, and both of them no Mud Slap, so we take care of the Pidgey straight away. Out comes the Pidgeotto, and it uses Gust. That seemed to be a misplay on Falconer's part because it created an easy 3-shot victory, and we have the Zephyr Badge in a time of 9 minutes and 41 seconds, which is really good for doing Sprout Tower as well. Now we're in the Ilex Forest catching our HM friends, and the general consensus was to pause the timer until I get into battle. The reason being that some Pokemon, like Magby here, can weaken our HM friends before trying to catch it, although in this instance it didn't seem to make any difference whatsoever. Psyduck was just refusing to play ball with us, but we did eventually catch it. And then just a few moments later we will encounter our Paris. Now I purposely left this one paused at the start a little bit so you can see the timer is stopped and then resumes once Magby is sent out. So that's how I'm doing it from now on, and if we have any close battles a little bit later on, I will retime the older Pokemon. I still have all the raw footage going all the way back to Corsola, but with our HM friends safely tucked away in our pocket for another video, it's time to take on Bugsy, the second gym leader. He's a Bug-type leader, so I think this means it's going to be a foregone conclusion. Ember on the Metapod to take it down in 1 shot, we then learn a much more powerful Fire-type move in Fire Punch, we punch the Scyther in the mouth to take it in the red, Fury Cutter does a very slight bit of damage, and then it's just the Kakuna. Kakuna goes down to a single Fire Punch as well, and we have defeated Bugsy in a time of 17 minutes and 23 seconds. It's Rival 2 time, and Rival 2, when you have a Fire, Water or Grass type, is very much a sticking point in the run. So we'll see how we get on in this battle. We have Fire Punch for the Ghastly and takes it down in 1 shot, no getting paralysed for us. Out comes Croconaw. We Fire Punch initially, it doesn't do much damage, but I think it's still going to be more reliable than Smog. Smog is only a 70% accurate move. We're only on 2 HP though, and it's just going to have to be a one-hit wonder for the Zubat, which it is. And with Rival 2 all done and dusted, let's go and grab Cuts from the Charcoal Maker. We will then grab a piece of charcoal from the Charcoal Maker's son. That is so that we can get a boost to our Fire-type moves. We'll get the Headbutt TM from the green-haired man, and now it is time to immediately teach Headbutt. This is going to replace Smog, because Smog is ostensibly useless to us. Poison is only super effective against grass, and we've got Fire type for that. So off Smog goes, and we will now get a TM from the Goldenrod department store. Magby can learn Thunder Punch, so we're going to replace Ember with that. And in Generation 2, the punching moves are still special. In Generation 4 and onwards, they became physical, which would be more suited to Magby, but Magmar has slightly higher special attack than physical attack, so when we evolve, the punching moves are going to be even slightly better than they would be in Gen 4. And then for once I actually remember to pick up the bike on our first trip through Goldenrod. We'll grab the coin case so that we can get our Abra, and now it's time to say hello to the younger haircut brother. I hope he's still got his insulating gloves from Electabuzz, because this time his hands are going to get very, very hot indeed, and I don't want him to get a burn. We'll then spend a lot of money on getting an Abra because it's quicker than trying to catch one in the wild. And then it is time for one of my favourite parts of the game. It's time to steal yet another Spearow off the man at the gate. We're not going to give this one back either. We're never going to give back a Spearow. We'll grab Dig from the bottom of the national park. We'll have a little chat to the flower shop lady, and now it's time to take on Whitney. Whitney could be dangerous because of rollouts. I don't think for once Clefairy is going to give us any issues. It doesn't. Just a focus energy, but it wasn't focused enough to hit us. Rollout misses, and we have defeated Whitney in a very quick time on our first attempt. That was one of the big roadblocks, and it has gone straight away. 26 minutes and 51 seconds for Whitney. Let's grab the squirt bottle and we can make our way towards Ecruteak City. Before we go in the city proper, we're going to have a little chat with Sunny of Sunday. He's going to give us the magnet, and the magnet is the electric type version of the charcoal. We battle the Kimono Girls, and it's Flareon against Duck, so it is Fire against Fire type. We use a Headbutt against it, we knock it out, we grow to level 25, and we learn Smokescreen. In the long run, Smokescreen's probably going to be slightly less useless than Leah for us, so we'll replace Leah and we'll get Surf from the man watching the dancing show on the stage. And after that, it is time for rival number 3. The rival battle's oddly paced in this game. We have 2 in very quick succession, and this time he leads with Haunter. Unfortunately, a quick hit in the chops doesn't quite knock it out, but it only used Spite, so we don't have to worry about being cursed. Critical hit Thunder Punch takes care of the Croconaw, and we are on to the Zubat. Thunder Punch is super effective against the Zubat, and the final Pokemon is Magnemite. Magnemite is weak to fire in this generation. We knock it out, and we have defeated Rival 3. Rival battle's only going to get easier from here on out, but we have to take on Morty now. Morty is a Ghost-type leader with all the Ghastly line. We take out the first Ghastly in one shot, out comes the Haunter. Haunter goes down in much the same way, and we are on to the Gengar. We outspeed, but unfortunately we only do half, and Gengar for yet another run hits his Hypnosis. This is frustrating, and I realise at this point we're not going to win the battle. Let's reset and hope that Hypnosis misses next time. We know that Ghastly's a one-shot, we know that Haunter is also a one-shot. We're back onto the Gengar. This time I use Smokescreen against the Gengar to reduce its accuracy. That seems to get the job done, and he uses Mean Luck on the second turn. We knock out the Gengar, grow to level 30, and out comes the final Haunter. Haunter gets knocked out, we have defeated Morty, and we get an evolution as well. So Magby is now the bumhead fire duck itself, Magmar. We get the Fog Badge with a time of 33 minutes and 19 seconds, and we can move on to Olivine City. We get strength from the man in the cafe, we chat with Jasmine, who tells us that Amphi is still very sick. We'll get the rare candy, and then we'll move on towards Scionwood City. We'll fetch the secret potion from the man in the house here, and I have to say it's a little bit weird having a pharmacy offshore. Maybe there's some dodgy business going on, but anyway, that's not for us to speculate. We will now move some boulders with our face. Got our nose hurt on that particular attempt, and it's time for Chuck. Chuck is an interesting case because he's a fighting type leader, but his ace knows Surf and is water type, so we're going to have to use Thunder Punch against it. 2 shots on the Primate to take it down, out comes Poliwrath. We Thunder Punch it, it uses Surf, doesn't do as much damage as I expected because Poliwrath of course is a physical attacker, and we have defeated Chuck on our first attempt to get the Storm Badge, and now we can get out of the gym, we can have a little chat with Chuck's wife, obtain the Fly HM, and make our way towards the Lake of Rage. First thing we'll do at the Lake of Rage is grab the hidden rare candy, and now because of Magmar's slightly less diverse learn set, we will actually be using hidden power on this run, so we'll grab that from the house here, and it's time to take on the red Gyarados. Because of Thunder Punch, this is just a one-shot to say goodbye to the Gyarados for another episode, and it's time to say hello to our favourite liar. Lance decides to get us involved in his lying ring by handing over some stolen goods in the form of HM06 Whirlpool, but we'll have to run away very quickly. But before we leave, we might as well take on Price. Now, on paper, we should have the type advantage because this is the Ice Gym, but the Ice Gym contains 2 water types and a ground type, so we're pretty much neutral across the board. We Thunder Punch this Dugong to paralyse it, it does a little bit of damage to us, and we're onto his final Pokemon already, the Piloswine. Piloswine is still weak to fire, it goes down in a single hit, and we have defeated Price to get the Glacier badge with a time of 47 minutes and 58 seconds. Talking of Pokemon weak to fire, let's go straight to Jasmine and her Steel types. Pair of Magnemite and a Steelix is in the equation today. Magnemite goes down in one shot, out comes the Steelix. Steelix doesn't have great special defense and goes down to a single Fire Punch. Just the final Magnemite left to go. Magnemite is defeated. We have beaten Jasmine and we get our 7th badge. Time of 49 minutes and 17 seconds. We're on a really good pace at the moment and it's time to move on into the Radio Tower. We're taking on this optional grunt who I don't normally battle, but I noticed we were very close to level 41 and we learned Flamethrower at level 41, so instead of having one of those 3 or 4 Pokemon battles, I thought I'd just show you this one. And now it's time for Rival number 4. Rival 4 will lead with the Golbat. We have Thunder Punch to take care of that in one shot, and his next Pokemon is going to be Feraligatr. Feraligatr knows Water Gun at this point, which does very, very little damage, only 23, so it's a 2-shot on the Feraligatr. Up next is Haunter. We use Flamethrower against the Haunter to take it down in one shot. Magnemite gets another Flamethrower to the face, and his final Pokemon is Sneasel. Sneasel is also weak to fire, it goes down in one shot, and that rival battle might as well not have happened. It was so trivial. We finish up the rocket segment in the Radio Tower. We get the pink bow from Mary, which is one of the 2 ways to get the pink bow. We'll get the Sunny Day TM from this lady here, and we will also get the radio card from downstairs. The radio card is very important so that we do not get stuck by that Snorlax in Kanto, and it's very easy to get the answers right. It's just yes, yes, no every single time, and it doesn't matter if you're playing Gold or Silver or Crystal. The questions may change, but the answers are always the same. And I take this opportunity to teach Hidden Power to our bumhead Fireduck. We're going to replace Headbutt with Hidden Power, and in this instance it's Hidden Power Ice. I chose Ice specifically for the Dragon-type gym, because I really think we're going to need something for coverage against Claire. And talking of Claire, let's take her on, shall we? We start off with Hidden Power against the Dragonair to take it down in one shot, and out comes Kingdra. Kingdra is a little bit pesky, because that Water type means it will resist our Ice type moves, and that Dragon type means it resists the Electric type moves, and it knocks us out in 2 hits. Let's try again and change our strategy. Hidden Power is fine for the Dragonair, that will always go down in one shot, and we're back onto the Kingdra. I use Smokescreen to lower its accuracy, and it does miss its first Surf. We get a critical hit, which is actually really bad because that takes it into healing range. We take it back into the yellow, and we start missing as its Smokescreen does. Into the red it goes, and we finally take out the Kingdra. Dragonair number 2 comes out, we miss our Hidden Power, and it hits us with Thunder Wave. We then start to slam, and we miss further Hidden Powers, and I didn't realise just how low my Hidden Power PP was. Slam keeps hitting almost every turn, but we manage to get a paralysis of ourselves with Thunder Punch. A couple more Flamethrowers knocks it out, and we're on to Dragonair number 3. Slam hits us, we miss our Flamethrower, Slam hits for a 2nd time in a row, and Slam hits for a 3rd time in a row, and that's it, we have no chance because we're knocked out. Back to the beginning we go, 7 resets later we knock out the Dragonair. Now a lot of these resets were because of this pesky Kingdra. Smokescreen just was not playing ball for me. This Kingdra was just hitting every single surf no matter how many times I dropped its accuracy, but it was only about 10 seconds per reset, so it wasn't too terrible in terms of the time loss. We do eventually knock out the Kingdra again, and we have 2 Hidden Powers left. We hit the first Hidden Power on the first Dragonair, we just have to get this second Hidden Power to connect, which it doesn't. Thunder Wave misses for the first turn, we miss a Thunder Punch and Thunder Wave hits for the second turn. It starts slamming again, and once again she seems to have some kind of accuracy mod, because Slam hits turn after turn after turn. But we do eventually knock it out with a Flamethrower, we get the badge, and I say some obscenities towards her as we leave the Dragon's Den. We pick up the rare candy from the first part of Kanto, and now it's time for Rival number 5, final rival fight of the challenge run, and he will lead with his Sneasel, which is perfect for us because it is an Ice type. Sneasel goes down in one shot. Here comes Feraligatr, and Feraligatr still only has Water Gun, but it doesn't matter because we knock it out in one Thunder Punch. We are on to Golbat. Golbat is also weak to Electric, so it goes down in a single Thunder Punch. Haunter doesn't do much better than any of the other Pokemon because it goes down in one shot. Kadabra just stares at us blankly and doesn't do anything as Flamethrower knocks it out. And the final Pokemon is Magneton, which is weak to fire. We knock it out and we have beaten the rival without taking a single point of damage. And with that we can say goodbye to the rival for another video and make our way inside the Pokemon League. Now as always, the first thing we're going to do is heal up at the League, whether we need it or not. And now we will say thank you to our HM friends. Thank you to Kenya, to Abra, to Psyduck and to Paris. They're going to get a well-deserved rest after helping us out so much in the Johto region. We're going to buy just 4 full restores. That's all we'll need if we successfully make it through the league. And now let's take a look at our stats. At level 52 we have 161 HP, we're holding a charcoal with Flamethrower, Confuse Ray, Hidden Power and Thunder Punch, attack 138, defense 96, special attack 141, special defense 126 and speed 135. And first up on the chopping block is Will. Will is a Psychic type trainer and will lead with a Xatu. Now I feel a little bit sorry for Will here because we have something super effective against each and every one of his Pokemon. So he starts off by Thunder Punching the Xatu. We do exactly the same on the Slowbro and take it into red. Another Thunder Punch takes it out without taking any damage whatsoever. Out comes Xatu number 2, and even at level 42 that is not enough to save it from being Thunder Punched in one shot. We've got Flamethrower for the Executor, that goes down in one hit. And his final Pokemon is Jinx. Jinx doesn't get revenge on Magmar like she did on Electabuzz and goes down to a single Flamethrower. And that means we've defeated Will with a time of 1 hour 18 minutes and 7 seconds. On to Koga we go. Koga is a poison type specialist, but an awful lot of his Pokemon are parts bug type as well. So he'll lead with Ariados, that is going to be weak to our Flamethrower, and we knock it out straight away. Up next is the Fortress. Fortress is 4 times weak to Flamethrower, but tries to protect. That just wastes 1 of our PP, and it goes down on the very next turn. Muck is next, we take it deep into the yellow as it minimises. We still hit our second turn to knock it out in 2. Crobat's next and takes great damage from a Thunder Punch. It does manage to use a double team though. We miss our next Thunder Punch and our next Flamethrower. We miss another Flamethrower as it keeps on just increasing its evasion. We finally hit it, and a couple of Flamethrowers later we have knocked it out. That was very pesky. And Venomoth is very easy, unlike the Crobat. Goes down to a single Flamethrower. Koga's defeated. On to Bruno. Bruno is a fighting type specialist and he will lead with his Hitmontop. Hitmontop knows Detect and wastes some PP on the very first turn. We then use a Flamethrower to take it deep into the red, not quite enough to knock it out, so we take some damage from Dig. We then use another Flamethrower to knock it out, and we are on to Onyx. Onyx is another one of those Pokemon where I'm glad we have Hidden Power Ice because it goes down in one shot. On to Machamp. Machamp can be dangerous, but we manage to critical hit it to knock it out, and we move on to Legs the Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee goes down to a single Flamethrower, and the final Pokemon is Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan deals a little bit of damage with a Mach Punch, and then we finish it off with Hidden Power. Grow to level 55 and we've beaten Bruno in a time of 1 hour 19 minutes and 56 seconds. Let's move on to Karen. Karen can be very, very, very frustrating depending on how she plays. Sand Attack hits us, and that means we are relying on luck for the rest of this battle. Out comes Gengar, we miss a Flamethrower and it swears at us. Gengar goes down to a single Flamethrower though, and we are on to Murkrow. Thunder Punch connects with the Murkrow to take it down in one shot. Out comes Houndoom. We don't really have anything too good against Houndoom, so we Thunder Punch it and take curse damage. It crunches us for quite a lot of damage really, as we take it deep into the red. That's going to send it into healing range, she's going to heal up, and we cannot win that battle. Back we go to Umbreon. We take it down into the yellow with Flamethrower, but Sand Attack once again hits. That means we are going to be throwing those dice once more. We managed to knock out the Gengar in one turn this time, so we're not going to have that curse damage. Thunder Punch hits the Murkrow, that goes down, and we're in a much better state for Houndoom this time. Thunder Punch takes around about a third damage off it. We then try and confuse it to get it to hit itself, but that doesn't quite work out on this turn as we go to very nice HP. Thunder Punch hits it, Houndoom is confused and hits itself in confusion, and we're on to Vileplume. We can ignite the Vileplume to take it out, and with that we have beaten Karen in a time of 1 hour 21 minutes and 28 seconds. It's just Lance the Liar next. We've got the Liar with the Flyers, and he will lead with Gyarados. If we didn't outspeed the Gyarados, I'd be worried, but we have Thunder Punch, and it just so happens Gyarados is 4 times weak to it, so there goes the Water-type Pokemon. He'll send out Aerodactyl next because that's a Rock-type, and we Oko that as well. On to Dragonite number 1. We've got Hidden Power Ice for Dragonite, and that means it goes down in a single shot. Will we do the same on the second 47 Dragonite? Of course we do. And now he pulled a sneaky on me here because I thought he was going to send out Dragonite number 3, so I used Hidden Power, not really paying too much attention. So that means we took a little bit of damage from Charizard, and we reject Fire Blast because that is a very inaccurate move. We move on to the final Dragonite, we Hidden Power it, and with that we have defeated Lance and have a league time of 1 hour 22 minutes and 36 seconds. The Liar with the Flyer takes us into the Hall of Fame, and our league time is 1 hour 22 minutes and 55 seconds. Kanto's next. And we rejoin just outside our house in New Bark Town where Professor Elm phones us. He's got some stuff to give us. First of all, he will give us the SS ticket so we can get to Kanto, and secondly he will give us the Master Ball. We'll use the Master Ball to catch Snorlax, and if we need it, we will get the leftovers from it. But now we need to retrieve our HM friends from the PC in Cherry Grove City. We say welcome back to Kenya, to Abra, to Psyduck, and to Paris. They had a lovely little rest while we were doing the league, and now we can pick up our 2 rare candies that we've got left over in the Johto region. We pick up the first one in Mount Malta, and the second one is in the Whirl Islands. And with that, we can head over to Vermilion City. And the first thing, of course, we do in Kanto is the last thing we do in Johto. We pick up yet another rare candy, this time from the chairman of the Pokemon fan club. After that, it's a quick trip to Saffron City, where we pick up the Psychic TM from the Psychic in the Psychic House. And now we can go and face Erica. Erica is gym number 9, she's a grass-type leader, so I think this is going to be very, very, very easy. We flamethrower the Tangela to take it down in 1. Out comes Jumpluff. We use Flamethrower on Jumpluff, that goes down in 1 shot as well, and here comes Blossom. We say goodbye to Blossom in 1 Flamethrower, and her final Pokemon is Victory Bell. Victory Bell goes down to a single Flamethrower like all of her other Pokemon, and we have defeated Erica in a time of 1 hour, 28 minutes and 19 seconds. Let's move on to Misty. Now Misty could be a little bit trickier because of course she is a water-type leader, so she will have the type advantage over us. We have Thunder Punch in our arsenal though, and that takes care of the Golduck straight away. She then sends out Quagsire, and Thunder Punch of course will not hit Quagsire for anything. It uses Amnesia instead of attacking, and that is perfect for us because we can take it down in 2 hidden powers. Lapras comes out and we take it deep into the red and it rain dances. That was really fortuitous because if she'd have hit us, that could have been quite dangerous. Critical hit on the Starmie knocks it out, and we have defeated Misty. Let's move very quickly on to Sabrina. Sabrina is a Psychic-type leader, and she has 3 Pokemon, leading with a pesky Espeon. We've got to take out this Espeon in 1, otherwise we'll probably be sand attacked. We do manage to Flamethrower it and knock it out in 1 hit. Our massive special attack is really working in our favour here. Mr. Mime goes down, here comes Alakazam. There was Alakazam, as that goes down just the same way as all the other Pokemon. And we can move on already to Lieutenant Surge. Sorry, I missed the Sabrina split there, so we will get back in sync after Surge's battle. Lieutenant Surge leads with his chunky Raichu, and we will Flamethrower it to the face. Raichu goes down and he sends out his very quick Electrode. We're faster than that though, and Electrode doesn't have the best special defense in the world. So both Electrode go down before they get a chance to go boom, and here comes Electabuzz. It's a battle of the Gen 1 counterparts, and Magmar very clearly comes out on top there. Its final remaining Pokemon is Magneton, that's weak to fire. We take it out, and we have defeated Surge, and we can move on to Brock. And the splits are now back in sync. 1 hour 35 minutes and 56 seconds for Surge. We'll start off with Brock's Graveler, and that will go down to a single Hidden Power Ice. Another reason why we kept Hidden Power Ice for so long. Rhyhorn is also weak to Ice, so that goes down, and out comes his Armor Star. Armor Star is weak to Electric, but it does, of course, protect on the first turn, like it likes to do sometimes. Onyx says hello and goodbye very quickly as it gets wiped out by a Hidden Power Ice, and that just leaves Kabutops. We Thunder Punch the Kabutops, we take it out, and we have defeated Brock with a time of 1 hour 37 minutes and 50 seconds. Now it's time to go to Cinnabar Island, where we will see Blue. Blue is having a little ponder about the state of life after Cinnabar Island unfortunately got blown up. It was my favourite place in Generation 1 Kanto, so I'm very sad about it too. We grab the rare candy and it's now time to say hello to Blaine. Blaine is a Fire-type leader, and he will lead with Magcargo. We take out the Magcargo in 1 shot with Thunder Punch, and it's Magmar versus Magmar. Our Magmar gets confused at the sight of another Bumhead Fireduck, but fortunately it's not confused enough to hit itself. That brings us swiftly onto Rapidash. We hit ourselves against the Rapidash as it misses a Fury attack. We hit ourselves for a second time. Fire Blast misses, we're confused no more, we hit it with Thunder Punch to take it into the yellow, and another Thunder Punch finishes it off. Time of 1 hour 39 minutes and 39 seconds for Blaine. We'll move on to Janine. Janine is much like her father, in that some of her Pokemon are also weak to fire. We use Flamethrower against the Crobat to knock it out in 1. Out comes Weezing. Flamethrower takes care of that just as well. Here comes Weezing number 2. That's just as useless as Weezing number 1. And here are the bug types. We'll start with Ariados that goes down to a single Flamethrower. And just for a change, we'll use a Flamethrower against the Venomoth. That's Janine all done and dusted for another video. Let's move very swiftly on to Blue, our 16th and final leader of the run. He's a mixed type leader and will lead with a Pidgeot. Pidgeot is of course weak to our Thunder Punch, so we give it a quick smack in the chops and it goes down in 1. That brings us on to Rhydon, and this is one of the reasons why I love Hidden Power. We'd have had nothing really good against that Rhydon, so Hidden Power Ice saved the day there. Thunder Punch of course is going to make light work of the Gyarados, and out comes his Alakazam. We'll use a Flamethrower on Alakazam because we have nothing super effective and that gets the job done. Arcanine's next. We'll go back to Thunder Punch because that's the only thing that's not going to be resisted. And this is where Blue just likes to waste our time. We don't quite knock it out, so he full restores, and really we're in no danger of losing this battle even though we're on 85 HP, because extreme speed won't knock us out. We just have to keep chipping away and hope that the Arcanine doesn't have another full restore. See, we're down to 9, that's fine. And here is Flamethrower for the Executor. That will go down in a single shot, and we have defeated Blue in a time of 1 hour 42 minutes and 2 seconds. That just leaves Red to go. So what we'll do is we'll speak to Professor Oak, who will have a whinge about our Pokédex, even though we have just saved all of the Johto region from Team Rocket. And then we will go to Mount Silver. We'll pick up the rare candy en route, and now it is Red time. As always, we'll take on Red with our current moves and at our current level, and take things from there. So Red will lead with that pesky Pikachu, but we easily outspeed it and we knock it out in one Flamethrower. Pikachu might be a high level Pokemon, but it isn't particularly strong. Reflect on the Espeon is perfect because that means it's 2-shot knockout and we are just a special attacker. I used Flamethrower against the Blastoise for some really obscure reason there. A Thunder Punch takes it into the yellow. Surf though with Rain Dance takes us out in one. Time for a change of move and we'll replace Hidden Power Ice with Return. It'll give us better coverage and it's also slightly stronger at this stage. And while we're at it, we'll use 3 rare candies, so we're now at the very nice level of 69. Let's see how better we do this time. So we start off with the Pikachu. Flamethrower will easily knock it out because it knocks it out at level 66. Let's move back onto the Espeon. Espeon takes half damage with a first Flamethrower, second Flamethrower knocks it out. It did get up a Reflect though, and this time I used Thunder Punch first time on the Blastoise. Critical hit takes it into the red as he Rain Dances, but he doesn't get a chance to hit us and we're on to Snorlax. We Flamethrower the Snorlax as it uses Amnesia, Reflect fades, and I'm trying to get the burn on Snorlax so that its attack is reduced. However, he gets the paralysis on us. Slam hits us hard, we don't get the paralysis on Snorlax, and it's time for another change of move. Confuse Ray's doing nothing for us at this point, so we'll replace its full Sunny Day so that we can get a boost to our Fire-type moves. And now we're at level 73, he sends out the Pikachu and we knock it out, of course, in one Flamethrower. Pikachu is just wasting our time at this point. Onto the Espeon, and I pondered a little bit with what to do here. I was thinking about using Sunny Day, but of course that would be countered by the Rain Dance straight away. So we knock out the Espeon into Here Comes Blastoise. Thunder Punch on the first turn takes it deep into the yellow as it Rain Dances. We'll counter that with Sunny Day and Surf does barely anything this time. We'll use another Thunder Punch to knock it out, and now we have the Sun out as the Snorlax comes out. The Sun boosted Flamethrower does just shy of half damage on the Snorlax, but it uses Amnesia. We Flamethrower again to take it deep into the yellow, but our third Flamethrower doesn't quite knock it out. That means Body Slam KOs us. Let's use our final rare candies back onto the Pikachu. Pikachu goes down, and here comes Espeon. Flamethrower against the Espeon, it will reflect, Flamethrower again, and we have taken it out. We are now onto the Blastoise, and of course we're going to use Thunder Punch on the first turn. That'll take it deep into the yellow, Rain Dance happens. We counter it with our Sunny Day, so Surf does next to nothing. Thunder Punch will then knock out the Blastoise, and we're back onto that pesky Snorlax. We use a Flamethrower against the Snorlax and we take it deep into the yellow this time. It uses Amnesia, but we get a critical hit and we knock it out. Here comes Charizard. We have Thunder Punch for the Charizard to take it deep into the yellow and we get it paralysed. It doesn't move, we Thunder Punch it again to knock it out, and his final Pokemon is Venusaur. This should just be easy. One Flamethrower knocks it out, and we have defeated Red in time of 1 hour 50 minutes and 45 seconds. Magmar really did struggle compared to Electabuzz and Jinx. It was that Claire fight that lost a little bit of time, and a couple of other resets here and there as well. But 8th place is still perfectly respectable in between Ampharos and Houndoom. So in our 3-way battle, Jinx came first, Electabuzz came second, and Magmar came third. Only 6 minutes between them though, and that does of course mean that Octillery is now on page 2 of our leaderboard. Magcargo still the slowest though, by a long way. And with that, we are done, so thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please do click the like button. If you've really enjoyed yourself, please do consider subscribing. If you've got anything to say, leave it in the comments below. And I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/trainersquidgy. Thank you for watching, I'll see you all in the next video.